Yo, Raider Nation, buckle up because we've got some massive Las Vegas Raiders news to dive into today. Picture this. The Los Angeles Chargers just dropped a bombshell, signing their star offensive tackle Rashan Slater to a record-breaking contract that's got the entire NFL buzzing. But here's the kicker. What does this mean for our very own Kolton Miller, the heart and soul of the Raiders' offensive line? This is the question burning in every Raiders fan's mind, and we're about to unpack it with all the passion and pride of the silver and black. So, grab your gear, get hyped, and let's dive into this game-changing story. Why does Slater's deal matter to us? Well, it's not just about a rival AFC West team locking up their star. It's about how this resets the market for tackles like our boy Kolton Miller, who's been holding it down for the Raiders since 2018. The Las Vegas Raiders news cycle is on fire with speculation about whether Miller will finally get the extension he's been chasing. Will he stay with the silver and black for life, as he said he wants? Or could this be a turning point for our longest tenured player? Stick with me as we break down the details, the numbers, and what this means for the Raiders' future. What do you think? Will Kolton get the bag he deserves? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's set the stage with Slater's jaw-dropping contract. The Chargers signed their 2021 first-round pick to a 4-year, $114 million extension, with a whopping $92 million guaranteed, making him the highest-paid offensive lineman in NFL history, per ESPN's Adam Schefter. This deal is a game-changer, folks. Slater, a two-time Pro Bowler and second-team All-Pro, earned a 90.9 PFF grade last season, ranking him as the second-best tackle in the league. He allowed just 26 pressures and 3 sacks all year, 2 in one game, proving he's an elite protector for Justin Herbert. This kind of performance sets a sky-high bar for tackles across the NFL, including our own Kolton Miller. Now, let's talk about why this hits home for Raider Nation. The Las Vegas Raiders have to face Slater twice a year, and in Week 1 last season, he was a brick wall, not allowing a single pressure against our defense. That's the kind of dominance we're up against in the AFC West. But here's where it gets spicy. Slater's deal could push the Raiders to act fast on extending Kolton Miller, who's in the final year of his 3-year, $54 million contract. Miller's been vocal about wanting to be a Raider for life, but with no extension talks reported yet, the clock is ticking. What's your take, Raider Nation? Should the Raiders lock up Miller now, or wait it out? Let's get that comment section buzzing. Let's zoom in on Kolton Miller, the backbone of the Las Vegas Raiders offensive line. Drafted 15th overall in 2018, Miller has been a rock for the silver and black, starting all 17 games last season and earning an 80.6 PFF grade, which ranked him 14th among all tackles. That's no small feat for a guy who's been protecting quarterbacks like Derek Carr and now Geno Smith through some wild seasons in Oakland and Las Vegas. But here's the twist. Miller's been seeking a new deal for a while, even skipping voluntary offseason workouts earlier this year to make his point, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. The man's got leverage, but will the new regime of GM John Spytek and Coach Pete Carroll step up? Now, compare that to Slater's monster contract. Slater's $28.5 million average annual value, AV, is a stratosphere Miller likely won't reach, and honestly, he shouldn't. Slater's an all-pro caliber player, while Miller, though underrated, isn't quite at that elite level. But don't sleep on our guy. Miller's consistency, starting all 46 games he's played since 2018, and his improvement year after year make him a cornerstone for the Raiders. A proposed extension around 4 years, $76 million with $51 million guaranteed, as suggested by Carter Landis on SI, would slot him as the 6th highest paid left tackle in guaranteed money. Sounds fair, right? What do you think Miller's worth, Raider Nation? Drop your number in the comments. The Raiders front office has some big decisions to make. With the third most cap space in the NFL, per Spotrac, they've got the cash to lock up Miller, but the silence on contract talks is deafening. Last year, Miller was rehabbing an injury, which might have delayed negotiations, but now he's healthy and showing up to OTAs, proving his commitment to the team. He said it himself, "I want to be a Raider for life." I love it here. That's the kind of loyalty that fires up Raider Nation. But with other tackles like Zach Tom, $88 million, Packers, and Bernhard Raymond, $100 million, Colts, signing big extensions recently. The market's heating up. Should the Raiders act now before prices skyrocket even more? Here's where the suspense builds. If the Raiders don't extend Miller soon, they risk losing him to free agency in 2026. And trust me, Raider Nation, we don't want to see our blindside protector blocking for another team. Miller's not just a player. He's a symbol of the Raiders' resilience through the Oakland to Vegas transition. Imagine Geno Smith or a rookie QB getting sacked because we let Miller walk. That's a nightmare scenario. So what's your gut telling you? Will Spytek and Carroll prioritize Miller? Or are they playing a dangerous game of wait and see? Hit that comment section and let's debate this, Raider Nation. Let's talk about the bigger picture for the Las Vegas Raiders. The offensive line is the heart of any successful team, and Miller's role as the left tackle protecting the quarterback's blind side is crucial. Last season, he allowed just 31 pressures, a huge improvement from the 65 he gave up as a rookie, showing how far he's come since being drafted. With the Raiders bringing in new pieces like Geno Smith and young talent on the line, keeping a veteran like Miller is a no-brainer. But here's the catch. New regimes often have new priorities, and Spytek and Carroll haven't tipped their hand yet. Are they as committed to Miller as we are? Now, let's stir the pot with some Las Vegas Raiders news. According to Vinny Bonsignori of a Las Vegas Review-Journal, there's concern that Miller's time in Vegas might have an expiration date, if no deal is reached soon. That's a gut punch, Raider Nation. Bonsignori noted that the previous regime under Tom Telesco wanted to extend Miller, but Spytek and Carroll haven't started talks, which raises red flags. With the Raiders' history of letting key players like Nate Hobbs and Robert Spillane walk despite having cap space, fans are right to be nervous. What's your biggest worry about this situation? Share it below. On the flip side, Miller's presence at OTAs shows he's not holding out like some players might. He's out there leading the young guys, embracing Pete Carroll's competition mantra, and proving he's all in for the silver and black. This is the kind of leadership that makes Miller invaluable, not just for his blocks, but for his locker room presence. The Raiders' offensive line took a hit when they traded away Trent Brown, Rodney Hudson, and Gabe Jackson a few years back, but Miller stayed and became the anchor. Can you imagine this line without him? I sure can't. Let's hear your thoughts. How crucial is Miller to our 2025 season? The clock's ticking, and the Las Vegas Raiders need to make a move. If they wait too long, the tackle market could balloon even further with guys like Slater, Tom, and Raymond setting a precedent. A $19 million AV deal for Miller, as proposed, would be a steal compared to Slater's $28.5 million, especially if Miller keeps improving. Picture this. A locked-in Miller protecting Geno Smith's blind side, giving our QB time to carve up defenses. That's the dream for Raider Nation. So, what's your prediction? Will we see Miller sign before the season starts? Or are we headed for a nail-biting offseason? Drop your take in the comments, and let's keep this hype train rolling. Alright, Raider Nation, let's wrap this up with some fire. Rashan Slater's mega deal with the Chargers has lit a spark under the NFL's tackle market. It's putting pressure on the Las Vegas Raiders to secure Kolton Miller's future. At 29, turning 30 in October, Miller's still got plenty in the tank, and his 80.6 PFF grade last season proves he's one of the league's most underrated linemen. But with no contract talks reported and whispers of an expiration date, per Bonsignori, the stakes are high. Will the Raiders step up and keep their longest tenured player, or are we facing a heartbreaking goodbye? Here's why this matters to every Raiders fan. Miller's not just a player. He's a cornerstone of the Silver and Black's identity. From the Oakland days to the bright lights of Las Vegas, he's been through it all, battling injuries, coaching changes, and more. His loyalty, I don't want to go anywhere else, is the kind of passion that fuels Raider Nation. But with the tackle market exploding, the Raiders can't afford to sleep on this. A 4-year, $76 million deal would keep Miller in Vegas, protect our QB, and solidify the line for years to come. What's your dream contract for Miller? Let's hear it. Let's look at the road ahead. The Las Vegas Raiders are gearing up for a pivotal 2025 season with Pete Carroll's energy and a revamped roster. Miller's role as the left tackle is critical, to keeping Geno Smith upright and giving our offense a chance to shine. If the Raiders lock him up, we're talking about stability and leadership for a team on the rise. But if they let him hit free agency, we could be watching him protect someone else's QB in 2026. That's not the Raider way. So, Raider Nation, what's your vibe? Are you optimistic or worried about Miller's future? Drop in the comments. It's time to bring it home. Raider Nation, the Las Vegas Raiders news cycle is buzzing, and Kolton Miller's contract situation is the story to watch. Will our blindside protector stay with a silver and black? Or will Slater's deal push the market out of reach? I'm fired up, and I know you are too. Smash that like button if you're rooting for Miller to stay a Raider for life. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for the latest Las Vegas Raiders news. Share this video with your fellow fans, and let's keep the silver and black pride alive. Raider Nation, let's ride.